So, 2 days ago, I asked for a Range Rover Sport, and yep, another one replied. Thankfully, I think I'm quite happy lah. I asked and then people respond, but I was a bit disappointed that Land Rover Malaysia did not respond. Screw them. So everyone, this is Mr. Faiz, super nice guy. The business that he has built, right? Amazing. Wait, let me show you. Wow, you must be a busy man, I guess.
Yeah, I'm working around 10 to 10 hours.
Wow. Wow, I hope one day I can be you.
Yeah, I've been in this industry around 14 years already.
Been a lot.
Customer service actually the most important department. The after sales.
After sales kan?
Yeah, not just for the selling. The important is after sales.
After sales.
Yes.
They any problem, anything kan?
Yeah.
Warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you can maintain your regular customer because buy from us, later trade in to us and buy again. That's why the after sales is important.
So do you advertise on Kalis?
Everywhere.
Kan? Kalis ada lah.
Facebook, Kali.
I dulu kerja kat Kalis.
Oh yeah.
I'm from Kalis.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Before I go ahead, right? There's one thing I want to teach you guys. Can you see that? That is the VIN number of this car. 17 digits. And what you can do with this is, I've actually done it beforehand. There are a lot of websites. This is one of it. VIN decoders. So you can go to websites like this and key in the entire 17 digit and everything will come out because every car is unique. Okay? I would say it's a Europe standardization, and everything about this car, the specifications, all that. Now this car is white color, right? And then in the what came out was the paint color is full white. It's a right-hand drive model. It's a 3-liter V6 petrol, and the specs are all in here. Navigation system, television, onboard television, front, and then the leather on the door armrest, seat heating, everything about this car. Stop-start system, front fog lamps, everything is here. So when you're looking for a car, right, you can use this method to match it, right? Because if you look at the VIN and then you check the VIN, it says it's a red color car, but then the car you're looking at is blue color, you know something hanky-panky is going on. All right, this is something that Bobby Young is teaching you now. Okay? Yeah. So this one has 340 horsepower, 450 Newton meters of torque. I know you guys have seen a lot of these cars running around KL, right? And it's pretty hard to differentiate between a Range Rover Sport and a Range Rover for the untrained eye. Now, for those of you who are totally unfamiliar with Land Rovers, the brand is Land Rover. Range Rover has always been a model by itself, okay? It's premium, it's the flagship of Land Rovers. It has always been there. They expanded the lineup to include Range Rover Sport and then, of course, Range Rover Evoque. Victoria Beckham sort of designed or co-designed the exterior, and her influence in that car affected the entire company now because the Evoque was such a design success that it is being applied across the entire range. So for every car maker out there, right, you can take this as a lesson. Consumers don't care whether your brand is a brand with bad reputation or whatever. The moment you design a car that is so good looking, right, and the early adopters will hop up and buy your cars, and then the followers will come in, and then your car will have a cult status. People buy your car just because it looks exceptionally good. And that's why Land Rover made a very good move in expanding that design idiom from the Evoque into all their cars now. I especially like the darken out A pillar, and then the darken out B, and then C, and then D pillar. So it gives you like a sort of like a floating roof design where this part here, I think it's more apparent in the white color car, right? If the front glasses are like tinted super dark, right, you can see like the roof sort of like floating there, and then you have a 2-tier. So it's a very clean, very good looking design. Yep. Large wheels, okay? And we know Land Rovers, they can go crazy hardcore when it comes to off-roading. So for them, right, they will never design like crazy bumpers at the front there, splitters and all that, like the Japanese does with their SUVs. So they always look at the approach angle, and this car has crazy approach angles. Alright, the ride height is very tall as well, but of course you can lower the car if you want to. And then you look at the rear, the approach angle is crazy. So this car can do pretty extreme off-roading. They are capable of that, okay? No issues with Land Rover. It is all about their brand, Land Rover and Range Rover. So Range Rover gives you sort of like the feel that we can do long distance driving in absolute comfort, right? And of course this is the Range Rover Sport, the sportier version of the Range Rover Vogue. Okay, let's go in. Of course it comes with keyless. Of course it comes with keyless. Now look at the interior. I'm always amazed with one thing, because Land Rover and Jaguar, they are both within the same group. Okay. Wow. Sorry. This is a hidden part, you know. When you close the doors, right, you won't even see this part. Let me see. Let me try and see. Oh, sorry for that. So this car has vacuum doors or powered closing. See that part just now I showed you? It's not even shown, but it's really high quality satin chrome material here. Wow. And that's a speaker. This part is the speaker. You can see that. Nicely hidden. Okay, let me start the car first. I'm sorry. If not, it's super hot. Now, what I was saying just now. Wow, the soundproofing. Do you notice just now how noisy was it? Wait, I'll show you again. I open the door. Okay. And now I close the door. Yeah, baby. It's quiet. Now, oh yeah, this car is from Japan. Japan spec as well. What I want to say just now is this. Land Rover and Jaguar came from the same family. Now, and then they even share factories and all that, and both are premium cars, right? But how come Land Rover can build such a solid interior, whereas the new Jaguars cannot? I don't understand that. I really don't understand that part. Land Rover interiors are so solid. Everything feels solid. Okay, now let's go through the car. Sorry for my babbling. Sorry for that. This is the same as Jaguar as well. They put this here, and this part is really broad, so I can rest my arms, because you sit higher in an SUV, right? So in an SUV you can actually put down the windows and hang your arm out like that, and you look like some Saudi prince after doing that. Okay, this entire part, the white color part, is wrapped in leather, and leather stitching here. This part is leather as well. This part is leather as well. And this door handle feels fantastic. It feels like a one-piece solid metal, highly polished, heavy, not the light type. Very nice, very nice. You have memory seats here, and then of course the window controls for all the other doors. There's child lock. You can lock the windows and all that. Pretty normal. And I kind of like their design language. Everything is, they are stately in a way that is un-German, you know. They have the kind of modernistic, very London feel. I don't know why I mentioned London. London is a historical city, but then you see a lot of modern buildings in London and all that. And there is a dignified sense in the way they design this. It's reserved but dignified and very classy. And not classy in a way whereby they use flowy stuffs to design the cabin. No, everything is very straightforward. There's a sense of industrial feel to it. Look at this part. this part, it's as if this thing skewers past this panel and then follows through here. I like this design language that Land Rover has been using since the previous Range Rover Sport, even the previous Discovery. Now, the biggest difference between this generation of Range Rover Sport over the previous one is that it is no longer built on a leather frame chassis. The previous Range Rover Sport, right, is built on a leather frame chassis, the same as the Discovery, but this one is no longer that case. So this car is expected to be a lot more comfortable and less bumpy and all that, of course. What else do I need to go through? Paddle shifters here, these really chunky controls over here, the buttons and all that. It feels really good, okay? And then this part, the satin chrome material as well. There's the clusters, pretty straightforward, and you have like almost like a frameless digital multi-information display over there. Okay. As we come here, this is the new infotainment system from Land Rover. I think Jaguar uses the same one as well. Okay, so it's touchscreen, but then you have all these other buttons on the side here to quickly jump through the menus, which you do not need to go through different layers. And of course, like a lot of luxury cars, they leave out their HVAC controls, the aircon controls, the climate controls and all that, and in nicely laid out buttons. Okay, now one of the key things that every Land Rover must do, even when they have a touchscreen, is that the buttons have to be chunky enough so that you can press them with ease when you're wearing your gloves, because in UK it's cold, all right, and a lot of people like to wear gloves, and the gloves have to be able to, you know, quickly operate all these buttons. They have to be big, and touchscreen has to work well with gloves as well. So this is one of the thing that they have been really adamant about. Okay, I like this thing. This thing feels really good, very solid. Yeah, there's a sense of really taut solidity in the cabin. Now the seats, oh, they look nicely bolstered. They feel comfortable as well. Feels really soft, like the high quality leather, and the whole thing is perforated. And there's a sporty look to it, right? When you look at it, it looks quite sporty. Yeah, there's those nice side bolsters. But of course, this car has a sport in its name. All right. And my previous experience about Land Rovers is that they have excellent speakers. Their sound quality is fantastic, and because the car feels so solid, right, it feels like you're in a concert room and you can blast music to no end. Hey, that's pretty unique. Sorry, this thing came out. That's pretty unique. So they have LED lights in there. So it's white color. At least it's different now. Every time I open the sun visors, they all look the same, and it's soft and plush. Okay. Nice. Is there like a sunglass holder? Nope, there's no sunglass holder over there. This thing, nothing surprising. Okay, then you can put your cards over here, and yeah. What else do I have here? Here there are cup holders. Ooh, this feels really high quality. What is that? Oh, that's the cigarette. Oops, I pressed that thing because I saw it's really nice and there's no markings there, so now I have to wait for it to pop up. Okay, so these are cup holders, and they have like a rubberized housing which you can remove to wash, and then that housing is, you know, it's like you can put larger bottles or smaller ones and they'll fit. Your thinner Red Bull can, the European Red Bull, can fit here, and then the others can go there. So yeah, pretty alright. I'm surprised this is not like, you know, the press in, press out type. You just pull, which is good. You remove one mechanism, you have one less thing to worry about. Here it's all gloss black, and it's the high quality gloss black, not the ones that they mimic with plastic. Now this looks very familiar, right? This gear lever looks like the one that I see in the Jaguar F-Type sports car. Yeah, it looks very similar. And this entire housing feels so high quality. This part, right, I'm very sure is milled aluminium. It is one piece of aluminium being milled out to create this. This is not satin chrome anymore. It's not satin chrome plastic, because the edges and all that, they feel very, very metal. I feel like I'm touching metal even. Look at the stock, right? Looks pretty cool. looks pretty cool. I like how it looks, and it operates exactly like the BMW shift gear. BMW has revolutionized a lot of stuffs in-car technology. BMW revolutionized a lot. One of it is the electronic shifter. Okay, now that's a party piece of Land Rovers, right? They have multiple modes: normal, snow or sand, and then you can lift the suspension up. You can go through rough terrains, really rocky terrains, and you just go low. Low means when you go here, right, the car is going to control everything. I mean, you don't even need to press on the throttle, I believe. It will just, a lot of torque, very low horsepower, but then it will slowly turn like that. Very powerful. I remember the last time when I sat in a Range Rover Sport, I put it under the boulder mode, okay? The moment I put it in, right, I have to depress the brake pedal so hard to stop the car. I release a little bit, right, the car wants to roll forward already. And then when we were rolling forward really slow, and then when it reaches the curb, a really high curb, right, it just slowly moves up. It's like it can climb things without using momentum or whatever. It's just very, very torquey, okay? And these are some other electronic stuffs that you can, raise the car, lower the car, off the traction. Really, you want to off traction control in this car? Do not even attempt to press this button. Do not. This is not a rear-wheel drive sports car for you to throw the tail out or whatever. That's the handbrake lever. So this guy uses push to release. All right. Press the brakes and then you push and you release the parking brake, and pull to, hold it back. Some cars do it the other way around, so everybody has their own preferences, okay? Don't mind those paper, those are their, they are a dealer. I can't request so much when they pass. Let me review their cars. This is quite cool, but I don't think people will notice it enough to remember using it, okay? It's some card holder, you can put your name cards and all that. I, for one, is someone who put a lot of name cards in my car. So it's useful when I meet people. It's also useful when I double park. Okay, just put your name card here. Inside here, there is a USB port, auxiliary, and then some pen holder. Now that the whole thing is covered in felt. Feels really good. Okay, and this part looks very solid. It feels very, very solid. All right, and it's quite big as well. So there's maybe they understand the target market. If it's older people who buying, right, they will have a lot of CDs. As I mentioned before in my reviews, modern cars, they don't need that big of an armrest console anymore because they don't need to fit the width of a CD anymore, so they can be more creative. But this guy can fit a lot of CDs, guarantee you that. Now, this is a unique Land Rover thing. All Land Rovers will be familiar with this, all the owners. So you move it to whichever angle you want, and then you tighten it or loosen it with this dial. It might look cumbersome at first, right? But actually it's their own unique solution, and it fits the purpose, okay? Maybe I never showed this enough. Premium cars, right? Expensive cars, right? They have... Yeah, man, it's powered. It's powered. Because for the rich and powerful people like you want to move this with the touch of a finger, right? So yeah, for people like us, we just pull the lever lah. Pull the lever and then we adjust. So it's a luxury thing. You can move this whole thing with that. I like the size of the steering wheel. I like the fact that it's not too thick. This size is very comfortable to grab. And then I can put my arm here. There's like two levels. I like it because of the sitting position. I can rest. I can even rest my forearm here and hold here, or I can rest it here and hold here. This part, right, even though it doesn't have the handle that I really like, because it's very wide, so my hand won't drop. I think the key thing is that as long as your hand doesn't drop, then you feel very comfortable on a long journey. Okay, so yeah, let's go to the back. Now, I'm seated back here now. If you look at me, right, you'll be like, hey, how come it looks not very spacious, right? But let me tell you why. These seats here, these guys here, okay, let me tell you a trick about car making. Most cars, right, the rear seats are shorter. They don't cover the entire length of your thigh. For someone like me, 5'11", right, a lot of them, the seats end around here. So they create the perception that it's very, very spacious. But these cars, right, I mean cars of this size, right, like this guy here, they put big full-size seats at the back here. So this seat feels exactly the same as that one. It's full size. Okay, another thing is that I'm happy it has this. I can recline. So after reclining, it feels very comfortable. And I can slot my foot underneath the front seats. And of course, I haven't adjusted my driving position there. If I adjust it, it will be more spacious. Alright. At the back here, it feels pretty dignified as well. And I think it serves good as a family car behind here because it's spacious, it's wide. The car is very wide. Even you sit in the middle, right? There's a very big size seat here, compartment. Look at the lights. I like the lights. Look at that, right? Ooh. Yeah, man. Just touch it, you know, slightly touch it and then it turns on and off. Okay. Back here. No surprises. Let me turn you around. Why today my DJI so heavy? Okay, cup holders here and some nettings for you to put your stuff. Behind here is covered in felt, so this is rubberized. Ooh, very soft. Why is it so soft? For you to put champagne glass. Wow, it feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Okay, so that's the rear seat. Oh, okay, that's surprising. This, of course, Land Rover's full-time 4-wheel and all that. There's no center tunnel, which is really nice. Sitting in the middle, it's alright. Feels good. You have your own climate control at the back here, and it's dual zone as well. So the entire car is quad zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, quad zone. Alright. And another thing is the whole system, right, is in English. Even though it's from Japan, but it's in English. It's alright. Okay? This mimics the front doors. This looks really good. Okay? Let's go. Ouch. Sorry. Pretty big, okay? Pretty big. I wonder what is underneath here. That looks like a full-size tire. Of course you need to, because this car is not a city-going sort of SUV-ish car, okay? This is a off-road, full off-road capable car, heavy-duty. Look at this. What is this? This one is for you to take out and hook it here. So when you hook it here, this thing won't drop, alright? Very thick carpeting here. There's very thick carpeting here, and then you have some hooks. You have some hooks to hook your stuffs around. It's very spacious. Not like crazy ginormous, because these are luxury cars, right? They optimize more for the cabin than here. All right, but it's definitely more spacious than the X5, I would say. So, yep, there's a tonneau cover, and yeah, that's about it. Let's close it. Of course it has power boot. And yeah, man. So I think it's time for me to take it for a drive to see how cool this car is. Alright? Of course this is not off-road yet, but it gives a very good benchmark of what these cars are made for, right? Because this is a really uneven, sort of loose stone kind of road, and I absolutely don't feel anything. I hear nothing as well. I don't feel anything. So I think that's the difference between a proper real deal SUV versus the pretenders, right? Of course, I am a big supporter of the recent trend of crossovers and all that. Unlike the Brits, you know, they always condemn SUVs and all that, because to me, cars should have ride height. Okay, no cars here. Look at the way it go, man. That's why it's called a Range Rover Sport. And consider this is not the flagship. The flagship is a 5-litre V8, And this is just a 3-liter V6 with a supercharger, but the way it goes, man, fantastic gearbox. This one has an 8-speed gearbox. I'm not sure if it is ZF or what, but I suspect it is ZF. Why? Because there is another gearbox in the market that is pretty famous. A lot of brands are using it. That's the 8-speed Aisin. Aisins don't respond that quick. ZFs do. And I believe just now from that alone, right, the way it responds and pulls, I didn't put the car into sport mode or whatever. I didn't even give it any preamp that I'm gonna do a full throttle. I just whack it and boom, the car just juts off the line. I think this is the ZF gearbox, and fantastic engine. This engine is fantastic. I love the way it sounds. It definitely sounds better than my Audi 3-liter supercharged, because the Audi one sounds like a washing machine. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. See, that's why people buy these cars, right? That's why they buy them, right? They feel so solid, and then pom, the car just shoots off. And I like the fact that just now when I was doing all that, right, you feel that everything is tightly fitted together, even the mechanical bits. Certain cars, right, you can sort of hear a little bit of here and there going on in the car, and that kind of feeling might be cool in a Porsche Cup car or something like that. You wouldn't want that in your comfortable cruiser. You just feel that little bit less confident in the car when you get to hear all that going on, and this car has none of that. So I like that part. I like the part whereby, you know, it's, yeah. And some of you who follow my videos later, I need to, you can watch my Peugeot 208 video to understand how I judge cars. When I judge a car, right, say for example, I go into a small car and then I say that car is quiet, doesn't mean it is as quiet as a big car like that. When I say this car is, if I say this car is less quiet, why? Because I judge cars based on their segment, okay? That's how cars should be judged. That's only fair to do so. I won't go up a 80,000 car and then I say that, oh, this car is pretty comfortable, and then you believe that car is as comfortable as a 400,000 car. No. Okay, so that's a caveat that I have to put up first. And yeah, let's go out for some drives. Feels good. You feel different. You feel like you're sitting on a throne. This one has a very different sitting position than, say, a Porsche Cayenne. A Cayenne will have a sporty driving, you know, a sort of feel. But this car, you feel like you're sitting on a very expensive office chair, and a kind of throne-like sitting position that feels very dignified. That's how this car feels. And it's pretty tall up, so you get to see a lot of things going on. You get to see pretty much everything up front. And the glass house is huge. The car is very wide away. I can't even reach you guys. And yeah, man, this car feels different. It feels very different. It doesn't cushion off and iron off everything. You feel the road, and that is quite important for sporty cars. And it gives you the sense of connection with the road. So I think it fits the name. It fits the name.
Turn right.
I don't think anybody who uses this car would use it that way. Oh, I love the supercharger whines. Love it. Fantastic. Well, right, it's the left and right. The moment the car throws you left and right, it's very uncomfortable. And that's what the previous Range Rover Sport does. When you drive, right, that car, right, it sort of bumps you left and right. And this is totally not present in this car. Oh my god, the sound of the engine. I wish you guys can hear it. It sounds pretty fantastic. Okay. Oh. Now if you drive like that all day, right, it's going to consume quite a lot of fuel, because inherently superchargers is thirstier than turbochargers, okay? But this car, the first impression is that the car, you can feel the weight. You can definitely feel the weight of the car, but you know they engineer it away. That is the biggest difference. Remember my Audi A4 review, the current one. The car is fantastic. It's very quiet, it's very agile, it's fast and everything. But one thing is missing. I mentioned that in my review, the heft. You know, when you buy a premium car, an expensive car, if you come off from a Toyota or you come off from a Proton or whatever, you jump into a European premium car, right? You can feel the door is heavy. The thing, everything feels heavier. That is the premium feel of a hefty car. And that thing is present here. I feel that in this car. You feel that you're driving, it's as if you're in a Bentley or you're in a Rolls Royce for that matter. Everything feels heavy, it feels premium, but doesn't take away that this car doesn't feel agile. This car feels quite agile. I would be lying to you if I tell you that it is as darty or as agile as a Porsche Cayenne, but it's not. It's different from the Porsche Cayenne. You sit higher. You feel that you are in a very expensive lounge than in the gym. That's the difference. It's not like a sporty car. No, but can it do all that? It can. Will I want to do all that? No, I won't, because it is comfortable in here. It sort of blocks out the ambient noise from outside. It's very quiet in here, but they purposely let you hear the engine, and I like that. I like listening to the engine. Too many new cars, right? The only thing that we are listening to is the exhaust. They all do that, right? But once in a while, it's great to hear the engine. Yeah. So the car is comfortable, it's quiet, and you have a dignified sense to it. It's not a sports car. It's not like you want to take this car and go like, you know, corner carving and all that. No. Does it have a direct steering? No. It has a very muted, heavy, expensive feeling, well-oiled steering. It feels like we are moving a heavy thing, but it's very well-oiled. The gears and all that doing that thing for you. So this is how this car feels to drive, and I'm sure going high speed, it has a pretty big turning circle as well. The steering merely turns, I don't know, wait, let me go back. This is full lock now. Let me go back. It's only 1.5 turn, but it's not like those fast steering where you turn 1.5 turn, the wheels are all turn the other way around. No, this guy you need to do a bit of 3-point turn. Okay, but I like the feel of the car. Everything feels heavy, feels chunky. It really have that. You know, when you enter a LV store, the door is very heavy. That's the feeling. A very heavy door, you push and you feel good just pushing it. So yeah, I think that's the appeal of Range Rovers or Land Rovers for that matter. The power is decent, right? It's fast enough to chase anything off the road, and I like the sound of it. So there's a juxtapose, you know, it juxtaposes with the interior feel, because it feels so high class lounge in here, and then the moment you step on the throttle, the car just goes, you know, it just does that. That's quite a cool thing to feel. And I think Jaguar should outsource their interior build to Land Rover, because Land Rover really knows what they're doing. It's beautiful in here. It's beautiful, and it's not like those burl wood running around. No, it's not that. It's industrial, 21st century. Yeah, that's how it feels in here, and I like it. And I totally understand the owners. They know they're driving something different. They want Land Rovers. I have friends who have stuck with Land Rovers for so long. They come down and sit with me and they say, oh, send my car to fix something, you know, and all that. Yeah, that always happens, but they love the car. They love their cars. They love it to bits. I think that's what a Land Rover is. If I own one, right, I will not sell it, because it's like something you own in your family. That's how I look at it. Range Rovers. Yep. Anything else you want to know, let me know. Hope you guys subscribe, and just look at the links below and all that for further information. But I guess that's how it is. It feels good to actually drive a proper SUV. Thank you for the suggestion. because yeah, I've been driving so many pretend SUVs for quite a while now recently, and it feels good to jump into one that is, I know this thing can climb crazy, can do crazy things. Land Rovers, they are pretty amazing. So yeah man, nice, I like it. See ya.